Now, would you consider high achievers and perfectionists to be the same thing? Now, I used to think that, but actually when I started to look under the hood of the car and get into the details of these two personality traits, they're actually very, very different. Now, as a kid, I had both. I started off as an extremely high achieving little girl, had a lot of drive, but as I grew up, this quickly developed into perfectionism. Now, when I look back at it, the main difference between these two traits is that high achievers have drive, whereas perfectionists are driven. And perfectionists are motivated by fear rather than enjoyment, whereas high achievers want to do something, want to succeed out of enjoyment and growth and personal development. So as I was growing up and developing perfectionistic traits, what became apparent was this huge fear of failure. I would put 210% into everything I did because I was purely being driven by fear. I also became so rigid in my routine, my daily structure, the things I had to get done, the goals I set myself. It was completely black and white. And the other thing was, oh my God, criticism was the biggest thing to me. I took that so personally, and that would then drive me even further out of fear of failure. Now, on the flip side of that, high achievers, they're very much focused on enjoying the journey rather than just being totally set on the end result. They're a bit more flexible in their thinking. They tend to learn from their mistakes, and they also take criticism constructively and use that to grow and learn. Now, if you're wondering which ones you are and whether you display both qualities or not, the main thing to realize is that, and have a look at, is how do you achieve your goals? Are you very much focused on the end result and that is the only important thing, or are you actually enjoying the process and looking forward to setting new challenges for yourself out of enjoyment rather than fear? The fear is the biggest difference between when high achievers tip slightly into perfectionism. And for me, what this did, after I was trying to control everything around me, setting myself higher and higher goals, trying to please everyone around me, fearing failure in everything I did, I looked to food to try and regain some sense of control. Now, unfortunately, this developed into a really severe eating disorder, which I just could not get under control. So this is why I'm talking about this right now, is that, these qualities can be amazing, can be very, very helpful, but also if we don't pay attention to them, they can very quickly spiral out of control. And I'm a complete believer that we all have some amazing qualities within us, but it's really important that we take note of how we're being driven in life and whether we're being driven out of enjoyment and growth and positive thinking and positive mindset, or are we being driven out of fear? And that is the biggest difference. We all have amazing things that we can achieve, but we got to start being able to enjoy the things that we're doing and not taking things so personally, and setting ourselves, things that we can achieve and that we enjoy doing, because what is the point? I spent years driving myself into the ground in pursuit of happiness, and I was bloody miserable. That's the biggest thing. If you're miserable in what you're doing, what is the point? You've got to enjoy the process, and that is the biggest difference. Please set yourself goals out of enjoyment, not out of fear. And if you're hating something, change it. There is no point. We're all here for great things, and we all have amazing qualities within us, so please use them to your advantage.